How did Olay top expensive creams? Like this, with hydration that beats the $100 cream in every jar of Regenerist. Retinol 24, collagen peptide, new vitamin C, and the iconic red jar. Can't top this skin. Shop now at Olay.com.
Nurse Mariam Sabo knows a moment this pure demands a lotion this pure. New Gold Bond Pure Moisture Lotion. 24-hour hydration. No parabens, dyes, or fragrances. Gold Bond. Championing your skin.
Tomorrow on E.T., the stars invade Sin City for CinemaCon, and E.T. is their first stop.
It's very exciting.
Plus, our NCIS LA exclusive. We're on set with the cast for Eric Christian Olsen and Daniela Rua's Behind the Camera collab.
He's going to kill me for saying that if you air that.
Oh, believe, we're going to air. Now, we leave you now with new scenes from Jurassic World Dominion out June 10th. Listen, seeing the original cast joining forces with the new...
Happening now.
American Trevor Reed is back in the U.S. after being released from Russia in a prisoner swap. Good afternoon, I'm Alicia Barrera, and coming up, we'll be live from BAMC, where Reed is said to be undergoing a medical evaluation.
The new drought monitor is in, so we'll take a peek at that. And we'll also talk about our chance for weekend storms in just a bit.
It's getting more expensive to shop at the grocery store, and with food prices increasing, a lot of us are feeling the pinch. Coming up, strategies to help you save on your groceries. The news at 5 starts right now.
Former U.S. Marine Trevor Reed arrives at Joint Base San Antonio. It is his first taste of home and freedom after a prisoner exchange with Russia.
So we know that Reed is now 30 years old. Russian authorities arrested him in the summer of 2019 after accusing him of assaulting an officer while police were driving him to a police station after a night of heavy drinking.
The Marine landed overnight, and according to a spokesperson for the Reed family, he is receiving care from a Department of Defense team. Alicia Barrera reports live from BAMC. Alicia.
Good afternoon. Well, that information about where he may be was actually tweeted out by the spokesperson for Free Trevor Reed. And that account on Twitter is run by his parents. And it was the parents, along with Congressman August Pfluger of the Dallas area, that welcomed Trevor Reed back home last night here in San Antonio. Take a look at that video. These are the first moments of Trevor being back in the U.S. It was recorded just after midnight, and this is the moment Trevor Reed first stepped foot on U.S. soil at JBSA Lackland after a long flight. Reed had been sentenced to 9 years in prison and served nearly 3 years in Moscow, Russia. The family tweeted their excitement, but they also say health is a big concern. According to a post made on the website freetrevorreed.com, back in early March of this year, Trevor had complained of pain in his lungs and a fever. Before arriving to the States overnight, Reed was able to speak to his parents during the prisoner swap, which happened in Turkey. And there are reports Reed could be receiving medical attention here. However, the Department of State is not confirming that information at this time.
The first phone call we got, he did not sound like himself. He was very subdued. He was not his normal self, so that kind of concerned us. But later in the afternoon, we got a second phone call. And, he must have eaten and had some fluids in him, and he was his normal self.
The family has publicly thanked President Joe Biden, but also Congressman August Pfluger and Senator John Cornyn for continually advocating and working to bring Reed back. It was finally made possible yesterday, of course, after almost 3 years, and it's unclear how long Reed may be here in San Antonio, when he could be released, or where his final destination may be. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from Congressman Pfluger on his work to finally bring this hero back home. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Looking forward to that story, Alicia. Thank you. In other news, a peaceful end to an hours-long standoff on the northwest side. And now 48-year-old Christopher Lombrano faces domestic violence-related charges. That standoff happening in the 3400 block of Magic Drive. That's near Fredericksburg and Callahan Roads. Bexar County deputies went to the apartment to execute family violence-related warrants around noon, but Lombrano refused to come out and threatened to blow up the place if deputies came any closer. Now, the deputies retreated, and about 3 hours later, that's when negotiators made their move.
It became pretty apparent that really negotiations weren't going anywhere. This suspect was just being really hard to deal with. And so once it got to that point where it just seemed like it was going nowhere, They introduced tear gas to the bathroom where he was. Soon thereafter, the suspect decided to give himself up.
Sheriff Javier Salazar says that Lombrano had knives on him, but not guns.
$450,000, that's the proposed settlement for a wrongful death lawsuit centered around the death of Antroni Scott. City Council will vote whether or not to approve the settlement at its May 5th meeting. Scott was shot and killed by a San Antonio police officer in 2016 while they were trying to arrest him on outstanding warrants. The officer said he thought Scott was holding a gun, so he fired. Investigators determined it was a cell phone, not a gun. A Clemens High School student removed from campus after admitting to bringing an unloaded gun on campus yesterday. In a letter sent to parents, the school's principal says that gun was found in a plastic bag inside a classroom.
So again, we just want to reiterate that the gun was not loaded. Nobody was hurt. But when it happened, the students were kept in place as a precaution. It's unclear at this point if the student who brought it in is going to be punished. However, the principal did say that that student is no longer on campus. 2 people are dead, and San Antonio police are trying to find the killer. That person opened fire at around 10 p.m. last night on Fredericksburg Road near Highlander Bar and Grill and an apartment complex. Another person was also shot. That victim is in critical condition at the hospital. According to SAPD, those 3 victims were sitting in a car when someone came up to them and just opened fire. Police are having a difficult time figuring out exactly what led up to this, so they're asking for your help.
Anything you heard, anything you saw, cameras, anything helps the detectives in an investigation.
So anyone who has information about the shooting should call SAPD's homicide unit. That number is on your screen. It's 210-207-7635. Also, here's a question for you. Have you seen a man that we're about to show you his picture right there? 55-year-old Vernon Keno Dixon is accused in the murder of 19-year-old Avante Boyce. Boyce died last month after an argument at an apartment complex on Hay Street. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. Again, the number is on your screen. It's 210-224-STOP.
The Crime Stoppers also looking for information in the death of 20-year-old Richard Ramos, killed in 2016 after meeting with a group in the 600 block of North Picoso. That's on the west side. Investigators believe whoever got away in a green truck. If you have any information into this case, call 210-224-STOP.
And now we want to take a live look outside. This is 281 South and Loop 410 West, where you can see that traffic there. I mean, it's 5:04 right now. Really, this is something that you expect at this time. But yeah, it's going pretty slowly right now. So if you're waiting for anybody to come home who usually takes that route, just be a little patient.
With the rainy clouds earlier this week, past several days, temperatures were a little below average, back above average today. Morning low of 69, afternoon high temperature 87 degrees. 84 Eagle Pass, Lakey at 82, Santa Maria 88. And for the most part, we have readings in the 80s at the moment. Not many locations even at 90 degrees. A bit humid this evening, otherwise pretty comfortable and pleasant. Partly cloudy conditions. Southeasterly breeze at 10 to 20 miles per hour. At times gusting between 20 and 30. So you will notice that wind out there. As we get into the weekend, that's our next chance of storms. We'll talk about that and the newest drought monitor issued today in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. As the war continues in Ukraine, President Joe Biden announced his request to Congress for more help this morning.
Yeah, he asked for $33 billion in aid to help Ukraine defend itself. All this as Russian troops expand further into eastern Ukraine. There are reports of explosions inside 3 Russian cities near Russia's border with Ukraine. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has warned Western nations intervening in Ukraine, and his threat may have included a veiled reference to using nuclear weapons.
We have all the instruments that no one else could brag about. We will not brag about it.
President Biden saying the cost of this fight is not cheap, but that caving to aggression is going to be more costly if we allow it to happen.
Now an update to hepatitis cases that doctors are seeing in children around the globe. We brought you this story yesterday on the news at 6. Well, today, UT Health San Antonio has confirmed that there's one young patient being treated in San Antonio for a serious liver disease. Now, UT Health isn't identifying the child or even saying where he or she is being treated. Earlier this month, the CDC asked doctors around the country to be on the lookout for potential cases of hepatitis. UT Health says that there are several cases of this mysterious liver disease in South Texas that's occurring in otherwise what we would consider to be healthy kids. Now, hepatitis is inflammation of the liver, which can lead to fever, fatigue, loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, and other symptoms. And doctors are telling parents to watch out for those particular symptoms that you see on your screen. And if you notice that your child has them, take them to a physician right away. It's a lot of stuff that we want you to consider, and we have the full story for you on KSAT.com.
An area at Natural Bridge Caverns searched today by UTSA's Center for Archaeological Research. The school program is making sure there's no sentimental objects or treasures that can be damaged. The Natural Bridge Caverns expecting to have construction done here soon. And this area specifically shows evidence of ancient burned rock middens. Another goal of this search is to shed light on the lives of prehistoric people who lived here more than 10,000 years ago.
The site right here has been around since the Paleo-Indian era, or 10,000 years ago and more. And they have evidence of people being here.
Some of today's find was chip stone. It's the second dig that UTSA has conducted at the Natural Bridge Caverns area.
Very cool. Now, this is not so cool, and it actually won't even surprise many of you who are watching the housing market. U.S. home prices jumped nearly 20% year over year in February, and that's according to S&P's U.S. National Home Price Index. Here's the thing, though. Experts don't think that prices for both houses and rentals are crashing anytime soon, but they do think there are ways to bring prices down.
Rents, unfortunately, will continue to rise.
Richard Green at the University of Southern California studies housing markets around the world and says he doesn't see a crash that could help millions of people looking for homes in the near future.
I don't see where a crash comes from. Could you see a small decline? Sure.
Real estate broker Juan Huizar says the heart of today's problem:
there's simply not enough inventory. So if one house hits the market, there's 30 qualified buyers to buy it.
But there aren't enough rentals either. More empty units pushes prices down, but that's difficult to change, especially in places like Los Angeles.
The number one thing is here we have one of the biggest cities in the world, and in the vast majority of it, you can only build single-family houses.
That brings us to this spot in LA, where there used to be one home, and now there are 13.
There's pressure to create more housing, and through that pressure, I think the community leaders are creating policy that allows for this type of project to go on.
Yeah, now people in San Antonio say that we here have our own crisis. People are having a difficult time finding any type of housing that's also affordable.
Still ahead on the news at 5, we're still talking about your money and how to stretch your dollar while at the grocery store. When we come back, Marilyn Moritz has some money-saving strategies to take with you on the next trip down the grocery aisle. One of them could save you up to $500 a year. Stick with us.
I'm Myra Arthur, live in the KSAT newsroom with a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 right now. Take a listen.
She said, right now, I honestly don't have money to pay you after finishing this.
We are back in court for the trial of a woman accused in a murder-for-hire plot. Taking the stand today, the undercover officer that Angelica Navarro de Paz is accused of trying to hire to kill someone. And we're also hearing from the defendant herself. Erica Hernandez with what today's testimony revealed. Plus, community leaders launching a new plan today meant to help local students overcome inequities. The goal here, getting more local grads enrolled in college or other certification programs after high school. How different organizations have committed to help and what that'll look like. All that and more coming your way on the news at 6.
Thank you, Myra. New at 5, saving on your grocery bill. It seems like it's a little bigger every week. In fact, federal data shows Americans are paying 10% more for groceries than a year ago. Of course, buying generics, using coupons can help, but 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has more ways to stretch that dollar.
It's costing more to bring home the bacon and most everything else. Erin Chase, the $5 dinner mom, says it pays to get intentional, down to the laundry. Her first cost-cutting strategy, stretch.
I think the first thing to think about is how you can stretch anything, especially things that you're using often. So dryer sheets. Cut them in half, cut them into thirds.
She even cut out paper towels by reusing cloth.
I have not paid for paper towels in maybe like a decade.
Next, think homemade with what you already have.
You can probably make a homemade taco seasoning. So skip the packet. They're $1.25. Skip the packet and mix up a batch. It's a couple teaspoons of a couple common spices that you probably already have in your pantry.
Buy in bulk for things you use a lot of and that last, like flour or grains. And her super savvy way to save cold hard cash on meat, her freezer.
The very best, easiest, and fastest way to lower your grocery bill is to buy meat when it's on sale and immediately turn it into a freezer meal.
Freezer meals. Just divide the meat, add veggies, seasonings, and sauces, and dinner and savings are in the bag for weeks. Food prices are not expected to come down soon, so she says spending more time means spending less money.
Say you save $5 every week. That's $250 at the end of the year. Say you save $10 every week by just doing a couple of these small things. $500 on the year.
The price of meat is really eating family budgets. The key, Erin says, is stretching your protein. Tomorrow at 5, we'll show you how she does that. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that because I like my meat. All right.
Stretching your protein. All right,
Yes.
Carnival outside in Helotes. Always a great time. And I mean, they have to be thrilled about this weather, Adam.
86 degrees?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, we could be in the 90s, and we're not. And we had the low clouds earlier this morning, which gave us some natural shade. Now we've got the natural vitamin D beating down on us, if you will. I want to start with the drought monitor because the newest one is in. Now, I'm showing you on the screen last week's because I like to give you a comparison. Now, very slowly here, I'm going to transition this to the new drought monitor, okay? So keep an eye on your location on the map here, 3, 2, 1. And you see how we actually saw kind of a balanced change of increasing the exceptional drought to the north and decreasing it farther south between Cotulla and Laredo. I'm going to do it for you one more time. Here we go. Last week, and then we faded into this week. There were some minor changes here and there, but we just simply didn't have enough rain and not enough coverage for a long enough period of time to really have a drought-busting rainfall. Just a drought-denting rain is what we had this week in some locations. Out there today, plenty of clouds this morning, and then we had the typical afternoon sunshine. We see this all the time this time of year. Low gray clouds early, then by about noon, you start to see the sun breaking out, and no surprise, we have some storms popping up over the mountains in Mexico, but they're very unlikely to make it near the Rio Grande. So pretty quiet across the state today. Big picture shows a few disturbances out there. See closer to the Great Lakes, particularly Illinois and into Missouri, then also Pacific Northwest. This dip in the upper level flow, helping them out. That upper level trough, that's going to help develop a cold front that's going to give us a slight chance of storms as we get into part of the weekend. So let's talk about it. Fast forwarding to Saturday. Tomorrow, more of the same. Most of Saturday, more of the same. Low gray clouds leading to some afternoon sunshine. But the difference on Saturday is we'll have this weak cool front to the north of us, and we're still unsure exactly where this is going to stall, but it looks like near the hill country that cold front's going to stall Saturday evening. At that point, it could be enough to kickstart a few thunderstorms closer to Austin and Fredericksburg, and the off chance that we could even see some move their way towards San Antonio. That would be Saturday evening into Saturday night. Right now, we're still just giving it about a 20% chance. We don't have a lot of confidence in that. And then again, Sunday night into Monday morning, we could see a similar situation. It's one of those conditional situations. We're watching it closely because in the rare event a few storms develop, well, they could quickly become strong to severe, but the coverage would be very limited. All right, let's talk temperatures. Some 90s out there, especially Lubbock, 94, Midland, 93, Laredo, 92, Pleasanton, 91. Otherwise, we're mostly in the 80s. Kerrville, 81 degrees, 84 in Bulverde. And right now, beautiful Divine checking in at 92. Tomorrow morning, upper 60s near 70. So just like what we had earlier today, more of the same tomorrow. Right up near 90 degrees for the high temperature. 91 Pleasanton and Poteet, 88 Seguin tomorrow, Bandera. You'll top out around 87 degrees. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Low clouds early, that 10% chance, just for a sprinkle or two. That's it. Then we'll start to see the sun by about 2-3 p.m. and a southeasterly wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. I wish I had more storm chances, but unfortunately, slim pickings right now. Highs mostly near 90 degrees.
All right, thank you.
All right, it's a big night.
Big night. Have you had your Red Bull? Because it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this night, and we'll all be here for it as well because it airs right here on KSAT 12 starting at 7 o'clock. We're talking about the NFL Draft, and one of the big questions going into the draft is where does our own DeMarvin Leal land in Las Vegas tonight? Coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Tonight is the night. It's the first round of the NFL Draft where teams are improving and lives are changed, such as the case for DeMarvin Leal, the former Jets and Rocket fighting Texas Aggies on the board. And the only question is, when will the defensive star be picked and by what team? He has gathered his family together here in San Antonio tonight to share in the big moment whenever it may come. According to mock drafts, they have the 6'4", 291-pound defensive tackle going either late first round or second round, even some having picked by the Dallas Cowboys in the second round at number 56 overall to fill a void left by the departure of Randy Gregory. What about Tariq Woolen out of UTSA, who also made himself available for the NFL Draft tonight? The 6'4", 205-pound corner is a projected second-round pick tonight, and some experts have him going to Kansas City Chiefs as number 62. Here's something you may not have known about Tariq.
2020, COVID had happened, and we didn't get to meet with our coaches until the summertime. So in the meantime, I met a FedEx delivery guy named Tyler M. Pierce. He used to play indoor football, and he reached out to me on Instagram about training. And I never had a trainer in my life, so it was just pretty cool. The work I put in, it helped me, because when the summertime came and I got to be with my coaches, they seen that I made improvements.
I'm glad putting this work in. It starts right here. Condition.
I didn't care about him being a FedEx driver. I just seen that he used to play football, and that's all I needed to hear. He didn't care about getting paid. He just wanted to see me succeed and reach my goals. And it's pretty crazy because 2 years later, that's what's actually happening.
How about that? Others will be watching for tonight are two of Tariq's UTSA teammates, running back Sincere McCormick out of Judson High School, offensive lineman Spencer Burford, and out of Rice, defensive lineman Elijah Garcia from Stevens High School. Now, we're still waiting to see if the Cowboys try and trade up to get a higher than the 24th overall pick in the first round tonight. But if you listen to Vice President Stephen Jones, the Cowboys believe the strength of this draft lies in the middle rounds, where the Cowboys have 4 picks in the 5th round. If the Cowboys stay at 24, speculation is they'll draft offensive lineman Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M. But before that, Cowboys pick at number 24. Houston, Texas will pick way before them with the number 3 and 13th overall picks in the first round. Projections say the Texans will select offensive tackle Evan Neal out of Alabama with the 3rd overall pick and edge rusher Jermaine Johnson the 2nd out of Florida. And after being eliminated in Game 5 of the first round of the NBA playoffs by the Warriors 102-98, last night NBA MVP Nikola Jokic says he will sign a record Supermax contract with the Nuggets for 5 years, $254 million if offered. And I think they're probably going to do just that for him.
That's just astronomical numbers,
crazy,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Greg.
We'll be right back. It's been a pleasure having you with us.
Thanks for watching us at 5. World News is up next.
We'll see you at 6.